Hey guys, Marstingan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so it only seems appropriate with the events of this weekend that the next episode for the category review should be World Tournament. Obviously, people recommended this in the comment section of the previous videos because it definitely fits the overall theme of this series, because this is a category that definitely needs some sort of help. So when we look here, we only have two leaders that are qualified as main leaders and one sub. It's funny that when you have categories, like the main leaders have like 170, 150 leader skills, and then the subs will have like 120 or 130. But for this team, the best leader is the Int Jackie Chun, who has a 70% leader skill. So he is the best leader for this team in the game. Yamu and Spopovich only give 50%. So yeah, double 140. So both leader skills combined, not even as high as one regular like Dokkan Fest category. So obviously, straight off the bat, the thing that this team needs more than anything else is an actual leader. Maybe one day if we ever get the dual Dokkan Fest of like Teen Goku versus my junior, like maybe finally we could get a 170 World Tournament leader and buff out that category a little bit. So we have for LRs, we have two free-to-plays, the TN and Chaozu, and then Hercule. Obviously, Hercule post Easy A is a much better unit. And then in terms of summonable LRs, we only have Goten and Trunks, who are very much considered super low down the list of LRs. They're one that could definitely use an Easy A. I guess it's interesting they didn't do them with Goten and Trunks, since they're kind of starting to do that with the theme celebrations, like when the physical one came out on JP. But they are probably still going to be one of the best units on this team, so we do have to bring them along. We will be including them. And then when we get down to TURs, a big problem with this category is a lot of these units are locked behind either the World Tournament SSR ticket banner or the Dragon Ball Saga banner. So there are certain units on here, like this Tech Cyborg Tower. I still don't actually have a single copy of him. And I do the World Tournament like every time, and I will summon with those tickets. I have got the Tien, the Giant Piccolo, who somewhat useful in Giant form. We mentioned him briefly in that video. But like a lot of these units are potentially locked behind a banner that people are either not going to get many tickets for or just not get very good luck, because the Dragon Ball Saga ticket banner has pretty terrible rates. So there are some solid TURs. Obviously, we got this Hercule and Boo. They got their Easy A, so they're pretty decent. This Awakening for the World Tournament card, Mr. Boo, is actually really good as well, so we'll probably bring them along. This Int Hercule is really good. He was kind of an MVP in the OG Majin Buu Saga Super Battle Road No Items run. Very good dodge, can stun. But obviously now with Global, we still don't have the same name update, so the LR probably is a little bit better overall. And then, of course, Jackie Chun is the leader. He's not the best unit. He's got some good utility, but in a lot of events where you can't use those abilities, he's not as helpful. The Saiyaman Awakening we obviously don't have yet, so pre-Awakening he is quite a liability defensively. And then we have units like the Oob, who is actually very solid. None of these others really, even like the Vegeta Jr. has an Easy A, he's not that great. This Super Saiyan 2 Saiyaman is very outdated at this point. And yeah, then a lot of these like SR cards that come from the World Tournament banners as well, but none of them are particularly stand out. There is one, there's an Ox King, but he's on the Dragon Ball Saga banner, actually a very good SR from that banner, but World Tournament doesn't have many of those. This Yamcha is okay, but yeah, only okay for an SR, so he probably isn't going to make the cut for the team. But there you go. So World Tournament Saga, obviously very small, definitely needs a lot of help. But let me jump into an event and I'll try and make the best version of the team that I can, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so here we are in the event. This is the team that I put together. We are going to be running the LR, Tien and Chaozu on rotation with Goten and Trunks. They do actually have a couple of links. They're not a bad setup together. And then we're probably going to have the two Hercules together. And if we manage to exchange one of them into Boo, we can always swap the Mr. Boo onto main rotation. He's going to be a good floating unit. He's pretty decent. He is also an orb changer. And then, of course, the Jackie Chuns are pretty much just going to be off rotation floating units. We do have the Survive KO ability, which would be kind of interesting to see if that comes into play here. It's not a great mechanic, because obviously if you're being attacked like 3 times and the first one is the one that KOs you, you survive with 1 HP and then the next attack just kills you anyway. But obviously he does seal super attacks, which can be useful. I decided for this one, rather than jumping into Formidable Saiyans, because I feel like we might even struggle to get past the first fight, I just decided to jump into the easy versus the android stage, just so we can actually see the team's potential a little bit. Because, you know, like here we don't have our rotations set up the way we want them straight away. So it'd be kind of wasted because, funnily enough, very difficult to find in Jackie Chun friends on the leader skill. So shout out to everybody from the DPC group for setting their Jackie Chuns for me. But yeah, so once we get the rotation set up, I think we'll be good. Obviously, the biggest problem here is, even though we are taking on the easiest version of Infinite Dragon Ball history, we are running double 70% leads. So you can see here, even with all that key, the big 18 key super for Tien and Chaozu, not even hitting a million attack stat. Alright, so we're getting... the other rotation is going to be for the Hercules, isn't it? So we need to float you off again. Goten and Trunks can get their 18 key super, so they'll be able to finish off our boy here. So we'll just do this, get a little bit of HP. So yeah, 250k HP with this team. I guess that's not terrible for 70% leads. We do have a couple of LRs. One of them is an easy A LR, of course, with Hercule, so his HP stat's pretty decent. And then the free-to-play Hercule and Boo, they're obviously an easy A unit as well. They are pretty solid. So yeah, how do these guys link up together? Yeah, see, until they exchange, they're not going to have a lot of the same links, which is unfortunate. But we'll keep you in slot 1 here. Obviously, once we've taken a certain number of attacks, we can exchange, and then this rotation will be pretty effective. So let's see, how much damage do we take here? 23k. Okay. I think we might be a little bit better off after this, though. Lowers attack. There's a dodge. Okay, be good. And then, well, in these stages where we can still lower attack, that is the one good thing about this team. There are a lot of units on this team that lower attack. And obviously in the earlier stages where we can still seal, that works out as such a great combo, sealing the enemy and then keeping them attack lowered. So as you can see, these guys do share a few links, including obviously legendary power, but they have Z fighters, shocking speed. So not a bad rotation, all things considered. So let's go ahead and do this. What defenses are we actually rocking here at the start of this? Wow, no one is above 40k defense, but I mean, that's what you get, right? Double 70% leads, remember? So that's what we got to work with here. We're on turn 4 and we haven't beaten the second fight of. We got the Super Saiyan 3 transformation with Goten and Trunks again. So Goten and Trunks are rainbow for me. I haven't link leveled them at all. Obviously, they are going to be one of the hardest hitting units on the team by far, even under this lower leader skill. So their defense, they're pretty good. The only reason why I'm not a huge fan of them as a unit is because if you can't get 18 key, because they get a random amount of key at the start of the turn, because either you didn't get enough key or the orb layout is really bad for that turn or something like that. Like, it's really difficult to put them in a spot where they're going to have to take hits because they get a debuff when they do their 12 key super. So depending on which transformation you get, the skinny or the fat Gotenks, depends on whether it lowers your attack or lowers your defense. And I forget which one's which, but if you get the one that lowers your defense, they're already not a great unit defensively. So they can be pretty dangerous. That's why, I mean, if they weren't an AGL unit, I probably wouldn't give them any additional in the hidden potential system. So that's something that hopefully with their Easy A, it would be nice to see that changed, because it's still an interesting mechanic to a certain degree, like the random key and then, you know, having the 18 key and 12 key super because they're an LR. But the fact that you just don't ever want to get the 12 key super, whereas you have units like the Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku, who both his 18 and 12 key super have really good uses. Like his 12 key, if you really want to buff up his defense if you're in a harder event, his 12 key super is really good. So if you get one of those turns where you 18 key super and then additional into the 12, it's just all benefit with him. Whereas if that happens with Goten and Trunks, they then nerf themselves with their 12 key super. So 40k damage from a normal attack from 18 there. So we are... I feel like putting Jackie Chun there was maybe a mistake, or at least not using an item, because if you get super attacked... We didn't get super attacked, okay, good. We got another, I think I might have to, let's do this. break up the rotation, unfortunately, but I definitely don't want Jackie Chun in front of all those attacks at the back there. So we'll go ahead and use this. This does mean the next time we get Boo and Hercule float back around, we'll be able to exchange them. So then we can get the Mr. Boo ready to be on rotation with them as well, because he's floating at the moment. So we can get those guys together once they have exchanged. If we survive that long, we could still lower attack at this point, so that's still good. Because we definitely need to mitigate our overall low defenses by nerfing the enemy's damage a little bit. So nice few dodges there, and then we'll get this guy off ready. Go for these. So hopefully now, because her attack has been lowered a significant amount, we're not going to take too much damage here on Goten and Trunks. We've got the full 24 key. Yeah, still 6,500. I mean, you think about, like I said, other categories, teams with higher leader skills. We hit her with, what, 2 or 3 attack lowering attacks last turn? So you'd think an LR would be taking double digits at that point. But that's what you get with a 70% lead. So just imagine how much of a boost this team will get if they actually get a 170, like, Dokkan Fest leader. That's like a whole extra 100% per leader. So the numbers that we're going to be seeing here will obviously jump up dramatically. This is going to be a sketchy turn for sure, so we'll have to go ahead and use this. Like this. So it's not an ideal rotation having both of these guys here. Well, we had to, yeah, 23k even with a Whis active, not ideal. I guess to be fair, Hercule probably would have just been better to put in slot 1. His defense would definitely have been better. I just wanted to have those links activated. But yeah, this Dokkan attack, probably not going to do too much. A strong 297k attack stat from Jackie Chun. So we at least got a crit, a solid almost 600k damage. So, yeah, definitely should have done that with Hercule. But, I mean, you can see at this point, like, with the amount of time it's taking us to get through these couple of stages, the getting to Cell at the end will be kind of brutal, because not only will it take a long time to kill him, it means that every, like, odd super attack that we take on a unit that we really didn't want to get super attacked puts us that closer to death, and it takes so long to kill him. So, I think we can kind of wrap it up here. We've seen most of the potential for this team. I need to double check the transformation condition for Boo and Hercule, because I thought they only had to be hit a certain number of times. Although actually, yeah, of course, they dodge, don't they? A lot. So I guess that is the problem with that restriction. I'll double check that in a second, but I think that's what it is. I think they have to be hit a certain number of times, but they've dodged a whole bunch of attacks. So it's basically the same thing with like Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's active skill condition. Because if you counter a super or he dodges, those don't count towards his build up to use his active skill. So exchange. Yeah, you have to receive damage 5 or more times. Yeah, so every time you dodge, that doesn't count. So yeah, these guys don't link up super well either. So as you can see, the team, I mean, I would like to think we'd be able to beat this event. It would just take a very, very long time. We'd have to be smart with our item usage. But obviously, this is the easiest stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history, and it's already this much of a struggle to get through. And you're seeing the numbers that we're putting out here. So I do think this category could be improved. If we get a 170 lead, drop some of those characters like the Teen Goku, Ra Jr., really buff up the category a little bit. And it could be looking pretty good. So let me know what you guys think down below. What does the category need to be up to par? I mean, a 170 lead is probably first on that list, but let me know what you guys think down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.